as you guys can see from the results, Nouver does indeed hit harder than Kutum. I don't know what else there is to say. It hits harder than Kutum. People that are saying it was bugged are wrong. It hits harder, okay? 990 versus 791 is a pretty big spike in damage. And it also goes from, 176 AP to 190 AP, which, it shows right then and there. I think why people think it's bugged is because they don't have the accuracy. They're not building enough accuracy to where Nouver shines, okay? And you guys saw from the damage numbers that Nouver had a wider spread of damage, and it really showed. When you have numbers ranging from 610, 711, 708, all the way up to all the way up to the 990, that's huge. That's a huge spread of damage numbers. Where Kutum, was more consistent around 732, 721, 790. You didn't need as much accuracy to run the Kutum because Kutum gave it to you. So my assumption is Kutum has 2 to 3, maybe 1 to 2, 2 to 3 accuracy roughly around that area. Not exactly sure how much it is yet. Honestly, once I duo my red coral earring here, if it's enough, I'll let you guys know. But I mean, if I build the tree bell after that and then it's enough, then it's roughly 3 accuracy, and that's the thing. I was testing on a level 56 ranger with 250 DP and muskins. That's how you know I was missing a little bit because of muskins there. So there was evasion in the test. I wanted to make sure it was in there to, see exactly if Kutum did really have accuracy, which it does. So what is my overall answer? What is the better offhand? In my opinion, for PvP, it is Nouver. Listen to me why, okay? Nouver gives you 39 AP and 10% resistances. So you already have 10% resistances. So you go from 40% resistance to 50%. You then boost it up and you get 75% knockdown resistance, or even 100% if you use 2 gems. But I don't have 2 slots in my boots, so that's just how it goes. But even with 75% resistances, you guys saw only 9 shots landed and 9 shots missed. Like, they did not land on me, and 3 knocked me down. That is a huge, survivability right there. That's the thing. You want survivability. Honestly, Nouver is better in PvP. Why? Because if you can't get knocked down, you guys all know this, when you get knocked down, all the damage is applied to you. The damage when you are knocked down is way higher than when you are up. And that's why 20 DP from Kutum will not save you, okay? 20 DP will not save you. Anyone with power will destroy you if you're relying on 20 DP. That's why I'm going Nouver. As far as PvE goes, guys, this is PvE, right? PvE. Kutum is by far the best, okay? You already have monster damage in there that is not, seen. It's not a stat actually in the weapon whatsoever, but there is hidden monster damage in there. That is a fact. I've already tested this between the two of them. My clear speed went down drastically. So if you were trying to level, make sure you guys keep a Kutum on the side or something, because that's one thing I will regret. However, I'm really not trying to level right now, so it's not a huge deal for me. But the thing is, if you were trying to level, Kutum will probably be better. The overall package of Kutum is probably better, okay? You have 25 AP, you have 20 DP, and you have monster damage, and you have accuracy. So there you go, that's pretty much it. Now, if you want to run Kutum for PvP, you can. I'm not saying you guys can't. I have 176 AP. I've been doing it for a while, okay? And it's perfectly viable. But now that I've gone Nouver, the damage I see sometimes is much higher, okay? When stuff does land, or when you have certain abilities that just basically don't require nearly as much accuracy, which, they don't tell you that stuff, but I feel it, believe me. My regeneration hits way harder with Nouver, okay? I noticed that right off the bat. And that's another reason, Rangers are supposed to be, a DPS class. The more AP, the better. The more power, the better. However, you need to have the accuracy to back it up, and that is where, Kutum would come into play. However, in order to tote a Kutum, and this is what I'm going to suggest, guys, you need to have 210 or even like 220 AP with using Kutum to have it be viable in PvP. I'm gonna say it right here, okay? Unless you really think you need 20 DP, which you guys know DP is really not that good, okay? They're really trying to buff it up because it's not good. They're trying to make tanks more tankier, and I understand that. But this is the thing, okay? You will do more damage with Nouver. That is a fact, okay? If you do Kutum and you want that 20 DP or a little bit of survivability, you're talking, you need to be building duo ogres, you need to be building tri-crescents, you need to be building all this stuff to be able to tote it as much as you could be, or to have the same AP to where you're basically the same as you would be if you would have had Nouver, And that's the thing. So just get Nouver. If PvP, simple answer, PvP, Nouver, PvE, Kutum. Unless you can tote the Kutum in PvP with 210, 220 AP, I would say 100% go Nouver. Hopefully this video helped you guys decide which offhand is better and why. If you liked the video, be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe for more BDO. Let me know what you guys want to see. Recommend some games to me. And as always, I will see you guys next time. Peace.